So, we need to wake the 4 elemental Empyreans? But how do we do it? Dunno. Maybe you tickle their divine footsies with a feather until they...
You're back!
And you're looking better.
Somehow. But what happened to that demon?
We killed him. Benwick, he...
Let me tell him. The rest of you, find Grimoire and ask her about the 4 Empyreans.
Eisen.
Are you sure?
Do it. He gave us this chance. We can't waste it.
Okay.
Resurrect the elemental Empyreans. True. If we do that, we might be able to suppress Inominat's domain.
It may even liberate the minds of the Malachim that Inominat has under his control.
I'm sure some will no longer obey their exorcists.
Good. We'll take a big bite out of their forces.
More importantly, Inominat will lose the ability to enhance the resonance of his exorcists. Most exorcists will no longer even be able to brawl, just like before. Of course, anyone as innately gifted as me is another story.
Will I... become unable to see Laphicet?
We won't know until we try.
Eleanor...
Then let's give it a shot. I'll accept whatever happens.
But these elemental Empyreans, they're gods, right? You sure it's okay to disturb their beauty sleep?
They control the 4 elements. Waking them is likely to upset the balance of the world quite a bit.
I'll take that as a no then.
We don't even know how to revive them. At worst.
If it's anything like the opening, then we need to offer a sacrifice at the Earth Pulse on a Scarlet Night.
We have to kill someone?
The act of killing is not essential to the ceremony. All that's needed is a soul free of malevolence.
If that's true, then doesn't Velvet already have a whole belly full of them?
The exorcists I devoured.
It's perfect. You're a Therian. You're capable of releasing the power you absorb. The souls of the high-ranking exorcists you ate should do nicely.
Use Oscar and Teresa's souls to resurrect the Empyreans?
It's worth a try at least. When's the next Scarlet Night? 3 years after the Advent. In other words, soon.
Do we have enough time? The 4 Empyreans are asleep in different places, right?
Correct. 4 pulses for 4 Empyreans. But if you use a life pool, you may be able to awaken all 4 at the same time.
A life pool?
Earth pulses normally flow horizontally, but in exceptionally rare cases, they can flow vertically. This causes energy to collect at the Earth pulse's base, pool. Though sometimes the energy flows the other way, upward, into what's called a life spring.
Oh, so if we make use of one of these life pools, a single sacrifice could reach all 4 Empyreans.
Where are they? There's a life pool in the northern reaches of Midgand, but I heard a large temple was built over it recently.
That's the Empyrean throne! We can't go there, it's Inominat's home base!
Ah, most unfortunate.
Couldn't we use a life spring? It all connects to the same place, right? We'll have to go against its flow, but...
We'll force the soul right down its throat.
Where's the nearest life spring?
Our best bet would be Mount Killerhouse.
Eisen?
I'm fine. What's done is done.
Killerhouse? That's the volcano on the northernmost tip of Northgand, but it's a hellscape of ice and lava!
Naturally. Killerhouse is the most powerful life spring there is.
So, in short, we shove the souls of the exorcists into the molten core of that volcano.
That should awaken the 4 elemental Empyreans. Together, they will seal off Inominat's domain. It's just a theory, but...
It's one I'll put my money on.
Me too.
Then we're off to Northgand. Mount Killerhouse is north of Helives.
The Von Eltia looks the same as ever. But it feels utterly different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Even Benwick looked like he'd been crying.
I can imagine. But if we let ourselves despair now, we'd be a disgrace to Eifried's creed.
We have to swallow our anger and grief, and sail on.
Right. Following a creed isn't always pleasant. We must do what we must.
I won't allow the Abbey to do things like this.
Destroying someone like that. turning them into a puppet. It's unconscionable.
Still, a heart can never be fully bridled. It can be shattered, but never erased entirely.
Ifrid proved that.
Right. His body is gone, but he lives on through his crew. Magilu is right. What lives in one's heart can never be erased.
Yeah, the heart is eternal.
Innominat suppression. Is this the ideal world the Abbey envisions?
Bien! The life in anyone's eyes! This isn't a fun place! It's not just people's minds being shackled. They're being forced to die, too. It's terrible.
Why would dying be part of anyone's ideal world?
Even under such strict control, new sins can still rise to the surface. If that happens, it's better to end the life of the sinner. Melchior came to the same logical conclusion.
What utter rubbish.
Anyway, we need to get to Logris.
So this is the result of their ceremony of suppression.
Seems that way. They've brought their peace to mankind.
What's going to happen to the world? How far will Innominat's power spread? When his domain expanded, I felt a faraway power suddenly come closer. It was enough to blot out the whole sky. I'm sure it's covered other towns too.
His domain has certainly extended to at least the entire populace of this country. Otherwise, what would be the point?
That means what happened at Port Zexen is happening everywhere.
Everyone is either a puppet, or...
Dead by their own hands.
Innominat created this ideal hell in a single moment. That's the power we're up against.
So we few are standing against a truly monumental force.
This is your last chance to turn back.
Turn back to what exactly?
Forward or back, we're headed into hell either way.
At least this way, I'll have my own free will. I'd prefer living damnation to that oblivion.
Well, don't come crying to me later.
Let's move along then.
So those weren't demons, they were Malachim.
Yes. They were probably ordered to hunt down any humans who still possess free will.
Innominat isn't whole, and his suppressive powers are not yet absolute. So he must be using the Malachim to find anyone he missed and process them. Sounds like him.
Process?
Be it a prince, or a little girl.
I wonder if Tabitha's all right.
I don't think she'll be suppressed so easily.
Aye. She's got more grit than the average soldier.
But even if she resists suppression, if the Abbey finds her...
She'd stand out even more with us. She ran an entire shadow network. Finding a place to hide will be child's play for her.
Maybe she was just pretending to be an old woman.
Huh? But I really loved Tabitha's cooking.
I'm just kidding. You don't run into a woman that tough every day.
She's been living in society's shadows since before we were born. If she heard you were worried, she'd laugh and say you're wasting your time.
Then we should be on our way to the villa.
Eleanor, did the exorcists know about this when they agreed to help Artorias?
They couldn't have. The exorcists I know fought for a world where people could live their lives in happiness and peace.
But then how do you explain the fact that the exorcists seem to accept what's going on?
Maybe that was just what I wanted to believe.
It could be that Innominat's suppression is also affecting the exorcists.
You mean Innominat might have taken control of their will and made them his tools?
Completely believable. Exorcists are too hard-headed to be open to much persuasion.
If I might have accepted this world too. Thank you, Laphicet. It's your strength that protects my heart from wavering.
You really think so?
Of course I do. Have a little more self-confidence.
Guess it's a good thing I captured you then.
That's true. I owe you my gratitude as well. Thank you.
Seriously?
Quite. To be able to express what's in my heart is a full thing.
You still drive me mad. But I can't disagree there.
Even when not yet fully awakened, Innominat can extend his reach to the entire world.
The other towns are probably in the same sorry state as the ones we've seen. Or perhaps even worse.
Magilu, is there some art that can awaken Malak?
What do you mean?
Well, If I could just use the flames of purification properly.
Even if you could alter reality with that power, you'd end up destroying yourself in the process. Want to awaken that badly?
I need more power.
For Velvet's sake?
For her too, but I hate what the Abbey is doing. It's just wrong. This world of theirs is without any joy. I just want to do everything I can to stop them. This is what I want, with my own free will. And
I know of no such art. And even if I did, it wouldn't help you.
Huh?
You've already found strength in your heart. There's no magic that can make that stronger. What you need is to be ready and determined. And to be brave.
I guess you're right. Thanks, Magilu.
No thanks necessary. 100 gold will cover it.
You want me to pay you?
Hey, good advice isn't free. What do I look like, a sidewalk psychiatrist? I'm a witch.
She always has to be so difficult.
There's a cloud sheep egg, another ingredient for the Omega Elixir.
All right, let's hurry and get this back to Vidal.
I'm not sure I've ever seen Laphicet so animated.
He's just not one to give up easily. I honestly couldn't tell you where he gets it from.
Really? Laphicet are actually rather similar.
You can't be serious.
Well, I'm completely serious. And to a dumb old demon like me, it doesn't seem like a bad thing.
That's 3 Nordals collected, and 1 to go.
Right.
Usually that turtle shows up right about now. What gives? Turtles, loiters, embroiders?
You mean, the Turtles is late because he's taking too much time getting a new design for his robe?
I knew you could follow along, my dear little oyster.
Should we wait for him a bit longer? I'm sure your sister's reply has to be arriving soon.
I don't write her those letters expecting to get a reply. They're more like an apology for not coming home to see her.
But you can't go home because of the Reaper's curse, right? So why do you need to send letters and gifts?
Soon after I left, my sister wrote me a letter. She said, "I don't care if it's dangerous. I want to be with you." Maybe the old me, once I realized there was no fixing this curse, would have gone home prepared to do everything in my power to protect her. But I'm not the old me. Haven't been since I met Ifrit and his crew.
I understand. You found your place on that ship. Even if you lifted the curse, you wouldn't move back home.
Do you think your sister knows that?
I haven't told her directly, but I'm sure she's smart, and she's empathetic. That's why she never sends me a reply.
You mean because she respects that you've chosen your way of life?
That's probably how she sees it, yes. But understanding does not preclude loneliness. I think she doesn't reply as a way of showing that she disapproves.
And you keep on sending those letters by way of atonement.
I don't think it's anything so noble as that, but sure. You're probably not too far off the mark.
A brother writing letters knowing he'll never get a reply. And a sister waiting for a brother she knows will never come home.
You two make it so damn complicated. Just talk it out face to face and make up already. It's not that hard. At least the person you care about is still alive.
Then...
Are we done here? Let's go.